coming off a loss and Ocean Lee coming off a pretty dominant win.
Yes. Already starting off with some crazy fast leg combinations.
Both these fighters
Not really feeling each other out.
Yeah, we'll see a change in pace as Ocean Lee is someone who plays very fast. He likes to throw flurries of combinations. Jabbar, someone who plays off the counter, so we'll have to see how Lee can find his shots in this fight here.
So is it a classic case of a counter puncher versus a pressure fighter?
Counter puncher versus pressure fighter, that's right.
Ocean Lee getting caught with a lot of these counters, albeit he's landing some beautiful shots on some Jabbar there. But Lee getting caught with them counters, and the weaving from Jabbar is unlike anything I've seen. This is some... I mean, it looks like he's got a macro on with how crazy he's going with his head move. It's crazy. Not to discredit the work he's doing. I'm saying he looks like a machine with how perfect his head movement is.
He does.
Jabbar landing some...
Does have a good head movement, and Ocean Lee's the
one
to get stunned
that wobbles
here.
Lee, and now it's going to be
looking to send him down with a massive uppercut that misses, and Ocean Lee on wobbly legs still dazed from that stun, but claps back.
Oh, and it was a straight right hand down the pipe.
And Ocean
Lee's going to get up.
You know, they had a fight before actually, in which Ocean Lee did lose.
I wonder if he can get revenge.
I need to see Lee go to the body a bit more as Jabbar's head's just constantly moving. He needs to set up his shots from the body, and Jabbar's responding pretty well to these flurry of combinations from Lee.
Right hooks. And a lot of dodging from these fighters, as you can tell. It is a high-paced match. I mean, if I was to go up against one of these guys, I'd get knocked out in 10 seconds. This is some elite-level competition right here, and you can tell. One day I'm hoping I'll be able to get to this, but man, these guys are good at what they do. Both very good at keeping the distance, but not... I mean, look at that dodging. You just hear it. The lean back, the movement. I mean, these guys understand everything about the sweet science. They're throwing punches. They're throwing combinations. They're making sure that they land, and they land good.
And Ocean Lee's struggling to
the body
find
from Jabbar.
Any type of combination so far, but he is landing just not enough compared to what Jabbar's
landing to the body again.
And it seems like Jabbar's the one to be going to the body first, as Lee is forced to clench.
Lee might take a knee if he keeps taking this kind of punishment to the body.
And a stun coming from Lee, and Jabbar is wobbled.
Got a little greedy there with the body.
But Lee's body's still dangerously low. We could see a potential knockdown, and there it is.
Ocean Lee forced to take a knee. Tragic.
Lee
getting back up, though.
Can't escape these body shots coming from Jabbar.
Trying to capitalize on that body work, and I think that Lee needs to time his uppercuts a little bit better. I think that's those body shots are going to really be an issue tonight if he can't figure out a way to counter those. And Lee might lose this.
And Jabbar starting to eat these light combinations coming from Lee. Jabbar stun meter built up. Wow. Lee needs to look for something in the last 20 seconds here.
These pressure starting to crack Jabbar.
And there it is. Ooh. Nice stun on the back foot for Jabbar. And
there it
down is! With a power jab. Jabbar tastes the canvas in the second round. 10 seconds left.
Phenomenal work by Lee there.
Lee's stamina, though, pretty low going into the third round. We'll have to see if he can keep up the pace.
Jabbar getting caught with these combinations now. It seems that Lee's starting to find his timing with this pressure. Still, both men remaining relatively well-disciplined in terms of defense. but it looks like Lee is starting to just barely get that pressure down on Jabbar, and Jabbar, his countering isn't going as well as it once was, but he could, all it takes is one good counter.
One good
really
counter
can take just
can seal the deal here.
The course of the fight.
That is right. And Ocean Lee managing his distance fairly well against Jabbar here, but
gets caught there with a counter. Just like that. And he got a little greedy there. But it did somewhat pay off.
Jabbar is pretty low compared to Lee here, and Lee's backing Jabbar up into the corner.
But Lee manages to even it out with some combinations there.
See a potential stun.
Both men looking to get some kind of work here done.
And there it is. Jabbar's the one to get stunned and sent down by an overhand.
Jabbar getting up, and now Lee is ready to put on some more pressure, albeit if Jabbar can weather the storm, Lee's gas tank will certainly be burnt out before Jabbar.
And Jabbar's face, though, is pretty bruised up. This last knockdown could send the victory over to Lee. Keep in mind, this is for the WBO lightweight champion. And both fighters are
getting close to a stun again.
Determined here, and
Lee taking some shots there that I didn't like seeing. That was
now
dangerous,
forced to clinch.
Yeah, it was a little dangerous on Lee's end, and Jabbar trying to put on that. Now Jabbar, the counter puncher, putting on some pressure on Lee, and Lee's the one trying to maintain distance, keep his head safe, as he doesn't want to get a stun. And Jabbar might be able to get it.
And 5 seconds left in the third round here.
Finding
could we
some
see
kind
a
of
stun?
courage.
And that ends it off with a nice overhand. Yeah. Nice way to end the round for Lee. That should carry over, and Jabbar's head health.
That was a headshot. That would have really hurt. That might have put Jabbar down, honestly, if it was a counter overhand and not a simultaneous one. Let's see.
Potentially so, and we're approaching the halfway mark of this fight now. So far, Lee's pretty dominant.
But Lee's head health looking a little bit worse here as he's getting caught with lighter punches from Jabbar, but Jabbar trying to play off the counter, but it doesn't seem to be working as well as he'd hoped. Lands a good power jab there. Jabbar now taking some heavy shots. Lee really just trying to grasp at anything to put him to sleep. As you can tell, he's burning through gas like crazy.
And Adam Jabbar
keeping up that pressure, and now Lee's taking some nasty shots, and Jabbar putting on the pressure. Is a really close back and forth. Razor thin as of right now, but Lee's knockdowns have proven to be valuable. Now Jabbar is probably going to start going on the front foot now that he sees Lee's head is damaged. So if Lee can play this a little bit smart, he might be able.
And he's draining his stamina though.
Now Jabbar backs up.
Though. Seems like Jabbar has.
Just like I said, Jabbar was going to start putting on pressure as soon as he sees Lee is close to a knockdown. He wants to get that knockout so he can get him out of there, and that's a dangerous way to play the game, because it's high risk, high reward. If he gets Lee out of there, he might be able to end the fight permanently. But if he plays a little too aggressive there, he's going to get countered, and that's going to really turn things around.
And Lee's pretty low here. He can't get caught. 20 seconds left in the fourth round. Jabbar's starting to pick up the pace slightly.
Lee needs to start playing a little bit more defensively now, as he's got 10 seconds left. He doesn't want to sell the fight.
And Jabbar dangerously low in the last seconds
here. Never mind. I stand corrected. Seems that Lee wants to put on all the pressure, and he's not going to be able to get that knockdown, but
as Jabbar ends the round off a clinch.
Jabbar ends with a clinch. Tragic.
Into the fifth round. Lee needs to keep up the pressure if he wants to end this now. He's one knockdown away from a potential knockout. And
indeed he is.
Jabbar.
So Lee getting caught with some heavy shots on his way in. He's really starting to do the I'm going to take one to give one mentality, and that's starting to be a little dangerous in these later rounds. As you can tell, even these light shots do a little bit more damage than you anticipate. Just like that. And now Jabbar's head health is looking arguably worse than Lee's, and Lee's is going to start to put on that pressure. And he's really going to want to...
And Jabbar responding with a nice combination, though.
Dangerous combinations. Both men inches away from a stun. A stun could change everything.
And Jabbar's dangerously low. There's the stun. And Lee needs to close it off. Can we find an overhand to send him down? Jabbar's moving his head around. Nice hook. Another hook coming from Lee. Jabbar trying to...
Jabbar getting
turn the
pressured
tables
right now,
around,
and Lee putting on some beautiful work right now. Jabbar looking like he's trying to find some kind of way to stun Lee, and now Lee's looking a little bit worse for wear.
Starting to
both men putting on an
turn in
absolute
favor
masterclass
of Jabbar as Lee's forced to clench now.
Lee's gonna try and catch him with a punch on his way in, isn't he? Oh no, he doesn't.
Surprising.
Lee is playing a little too defensive here, and that might start to bite him because now if he starts to play too defensive, he's got to play perfect. If he got to play perfect.
Needs to realize as well
that overhand was not a smart idea.
And there it is. Lee's stunned, and Jabbar's trying his best to end it off here. Forced to clench. Jabbar goes back in for the clench. Lee's dangerously low. He needs to escape this. Into the corner, and Jabbar's throwing everything he has. Lee responding with a light combination.
Holy,
this is
10 seconds left.
Close here. Can we see a knockdown?
Lee putting in the pressure, both men simultaneously landing, and it's Lee!
Down in the last 3 seconds. Is that it? He's up.
And he gets up.
He gets up. What? We're into the 6th round. What a nail-biting moment in the last second of the 5th round. Lee's able to find his way, getting another knockdown. This one has to seal the deal as Jabbar's already low in the first few seconds of the 6th round here. Jabbar's
gonna keep putting on that pressure, but Lee took some nasty shots on his way in, and Jabbar's looking like he's ready to fall at any moment, and Lee's gonna try and capitalize that. He's gonna play hyper aggressive, and that's exactly what Jabbar's gonna want to do. He's gonna want to try and find the counter. But
and Jabbar can't escape these light combinations coming from Jabbar.
If Lee can keep his guard perfect, and if he can just land a couple more light stinging shots on Jabbar, he might be able to put this into the bag. But he's getting a little, he's overextending a little bit, and that's not a good idea. As you can see, he just got countered right there with a little right hand.
Nice power jab though. Nice power jab coming from Lee.
Now they're both inches away from a stun, and that's looking pretty rough right now. So I do think that if Lee continues to put on this kind of pressure, though, Jabbar eventually will crack because he's playing a little defensively now, and Lee taking a little bit of a left hook to the inside of the face, and now both men looking to
and a nice overhand coming from Lee, and a power jab trying to end it off with an overhand. Forced to clench as Jabbar tries to end the round off, missing the second overhand from Lee, and Jabbar's the one to be on the front foot, pressing the gas, and Jabbar
inches away from a knockout.
Low again. Lee needs to find something. 30 seconds on the clock, and there it is.
And that's it.
A new WBO champion.